to introduce some of the concepts we'll be using to research what causes you to react as you do, let's start by observing the reaction of the little girl on the right side of this picture. From our observer's perspective, we might hope that this adorable child doesn't take this apparent rejection personally. But from her first-person perspective, she interprets this event differently than we do. She probably doesn't feel adorable, and she probably will take the rejection personally. So two perspectives produce very different interpretations of the same event. So let's focus on the difference between the two perspectives. From our observer's perspective, we have the luxury of the time and dispassionate mindset to process the things that happen abstractly. In contrast, from her first-person perspective, she is experiencing the things that happen directly. Needless to say, these different perspectives lead to different interpretations. Here's a thought experiment for you. Imagine you were that little girl. What would you assume this event means about you, your future, or what other people think of you? Now, imagine that you were that little girl's kindly aunt or uncle. How would you want her to interpret the event? Our grammar assumes three perspectives. The first person, for example, I felt rejected. The second person, you felt rejected. And the third person, she or he felt rejected. In this course, we're primarily interested in the first and third person perspectives. We'll discuss the second person perspective in the course about escaping traps for the soul. Our current interest is understanding how your particular trap works. And to do that, we have to observe it from the outside and the inside, from the observer's perspective and from the first-person perspective. A psychologist would study cause and effect from the observer's perspective, which is the proper perspective for a scientist. But to truly understand experiential phenomenon, objective observation is not sufficient. The experience of being slapped in the face is qualitatively different than observing someone else getting slapped in the face. It looks different than it feels. And your experience observing this event is qualitatively different than little Mimi's first-person experience of this event. The study of experience from the first-person perspective is called phenomenology, in contrast to psychology, which is the study of experience from the observer's perspective. Psychotherapy is a collaboration between a psychologist, the one who attempts to understand the problem from the observer's perspective, and the client, who attempts to understand the problem from the first-person perspective. Critical pieces of the puzzle are unavailable to the psychologist, namely, how the client experiences the things that happen, and critical pieces of the puzzle are unavailable to the client, as evidenced by the client's inability to solve the problem, and often even see the problem from the first-person perspective. To solve the puzzle, we need to research cause and effect from both perspectives. Optical illusions provide a good opportunity to see things from each perspective and to practice shifting back and forth between the two.